your girl Ahado.
And your girl Halima.
And welcome to
Let's Talk Bantus.
As promised, we did say we were going to do more YouTube videos for you guys. So, we are doing a girls chat via YouTube.
And also a real estate video.
Let's get into that. So, Halima, you can start us off.
So, before we start, I really want to say thank you to everybody who's been listening, who's been watching, who's been hitting us up, giving us, good topics to talk about, supporting us. We really do appreciate y'all. And we got love for all y'all. If you don't know about us on Instagram, follow us on Let's Talk Bantus at our Instagram. We post there regularly, and sometimes we have like stories where we, ask people to give us topics and stuff. So if you want us to talk about something, hit us up. Or we just won't know.
Exactly. So yeah, subscribe to our YouTube as well as you're watching it. It is on our YouTube. Let's Talk Bantus. So let's get into it. We are having just a little girls chat, and then we'll give you guys a snippet of the real estate. There's a real estate agent. His name is Jonas, and he is just phenomenal. Very, very, very successful at what he does. So we're just gonna give you guys a little snippet. The rest will be on our podcast channel at Let's Talk Bantus, which you can find on Spotify, Apple Podcasts. Like, we are everywhere, honey.
You can also find us on the Anchor app, but you don't have to do that. You don't have to download the app.
And even if you click the link, you can just scroll down.
Yeah, the link will take you there too. Okay, so with our girl chat, one of our first questions is, how has living in America affected our roots, language, culture, and religion? Great question.
That is a good question.
Go ahead.
And honestly, this can go for anybody that has came from a foreign country to America. It affected everybody all over the world. Not just us. But I will say that it has affected us because we try to kind of fit in more up to like what's normal. Kids nowadays, like, bullying is outrageous. The depression level is going crazy. So these kids nowadays, of course, they just want to fit in. They want to look just like the regular American. They want to do the regular American activities. Kids that don't have, that still have their native accent. Kind of even change that accent to just an American.
Tone it down.
So it's like it has changed dramatically. When it comes to the Bantu culture, I would say that that's still kind of going on, but just more so for the older generation. The younger generation don't really participate in it. They're more embarrassed to
They don't even claim it.
Right. They be like, I don't know what that is.
Which makes sense sometimes.
Right.
But some people be doing too much.
They even try to act like they don't know what the culture is or whatever. So, I think it's changed dramatically.
With the language, I especially think that maybe it's just me. But some of us do not know Chisco. I know it's probably just me because I've met other people in other states who will literally speak Chisco fluently, and then I'd be sitting there like, damn, that's crazy. But I also feel like that's mostly because I kind of grew up in a place where there was way more white people, there was any Bantu people. I wasn't speaking my language to nobody. There's no reason for me to speak off my mind, so I just don't know it no more. So, I feel like for a lot of people, the language kind of dies down depending on where you live, who all lives there, how often you see your family, so a lot of people kind of lose their language, and you don't even get it back until you get older, until you start realizing things, until you're like, oh, I kind of don't want my culture to die down. Even though I personally I feel like the culture might give it 4 generations. It's looking really rough out here. Yeah, but yeah.
As far as religion goes, honestly, religion is not supposed to change at all, no matter how many generations. It is supposed to strictly stay the same. But I could see that it is affecting a lot with this generation of kids. They are because what makes our religion unique is that we have set rules that set us apart from Ajnamis, like certain ways that we're supposed to dress, certain ways that we're supposed to act, that's supposed to tell you apart from the disbelievers, So when you start to look exactly like them and you're like, you can't even tell if you're Muslim or not, that's when it's kind of, starts to be that dramatic change, is that everybody wants to fit in so bad that they kind of even forget about the religion and they only practice it when they're at their home, But the sole purpose of it is to differentiate. You're able to differentiate you and the disbelievers when you're in a big crowd of them all, you know. So I definitely do see that that's changing, and you can't even tell who's who anymore.
Because a lot of people don't be wearing hijab.
You know,
It'd be me, but but yeah, a lot of people stop wearing hijab because it's kind of like, I don't know, in school. I mean, I feel like if you live in a place that's very like diverse, you don't even need Bantu people. When it comes to Islam, them other kids, even if they're drinking, smoking, doing all this and that, even if they're doing all that, they will still be like, oh, hey, yo, bro, you gonna go to the masjid tomorrow? Like, there's Muslim students that would, like, other Muslim kids that, you know, guide you a little bit to the straight path. But a lot of us kind of just don't have those Muslim friends.
Yeah.
Or, like, some of those Muslim friends don't wear hijab either. So, both of y'all, just out there.
And a lot of times, like, in our community, like, the thing about it is there's a lot of hypocrites in our community. There's something between being somebody that wants to guide and somebody who wants to straight up shame somebody. And a lot of people in our community are this more than this, you know. They like to shame people. They like to think that they're better than others. They like to think, oh, because they dress a certain way, even though they commit other sins, but because they have the hijab on, they're better than the ones that don't have the hijab on, you know. And it's like they kind of flaunt that they're more religious than others. They kind of flaunt it, and it's like nobody's gonna listen to you if all you do is flaunt, you know. Like, oh, I just prayed today, and all you did not pray. Like, oh, you guys are going to hell, blah blah blah. But mind you, they're in the back showing us all the other sins, you know. They're at weddings 24/7 shaking their ass, you know. So it's like this. It's, you can't really sit here and try to say like, oh, you know, Ibrahim, hey, you have to guide your brothers and sisters, because yeah, Ibrahim, they say that, but he didn't tell you to judge them, you know. So there's a broad difference between being judgmental and being a guidance to somebody, you know. And y'all need to know the difference, because you can't guide if all you're doing is backbiting and, you know, just trying to make the other person feel less of themselves, and you're trying to be over here and you're trying to put them right here, and it ain't working.
And also, shout out to the folks that be like, if you're not gonna wear hijab correctly, you might as well just take it off. Y'all are the worst type of people. Don't tell people that. You're literally straying people away from the religion by saying those words. Like getting married at a young age.
Personally, no, and I personally would not want them to, because a lot of the kids that are younger are not ready. They're not established, you know. And I would love to say just love is the only thing that you need in order to build a foundation, but in this day and age, you need more than love, you know. And it's really hard to like build a foundation while you're living with your parents, you know, because a lot of parents, like, it's so much chaos and like just backbiting even within like the mothers and the like, it's just too much drama. So I wouldn't really, if you're capable and, you know, if you have the capability of getting married at a young age and you got it and you can handle it, go ahead. But the way that these kids in this generation is, I would not recommend them to. I just would not recommend them to get married at such a young age, because they're not ready. You know, get ready first and then proceed. You know, just don't date. My biggest, if you don't hear anything from here, do not date. And if you're going to date, wait till you're older. Wait till you're so much older. I promise you guys, like, waiting is like the best thing you can do for yourself. Until you know that who you are, don't date. When you're 16, 17, 18, you don't really know who you are. You know, and these little boys, like, they don't got nothing for you. What they gonna do for you at the age of 16, 17? Like, nothing. So just, my biggest piece of advice, don't date. And if you do, wait till you're older. That way, it's less heartbreak, less zina being committed, just less so many things that is going to almost like haunt you for the rest of your life, you know. Especially if you like you're a person who really, really loves the religion, and you know, you end up being in a relationship and you commit these type of sins. Like, it's nothing that's just gonna go away, you know. It is gonna eat you, and it is gonna sit with you, and it's gonna be really hard for you to, you're just gonna resent it. So why even go through all that for a boy that's 15, 16, 17? They ain't worth it.
Even them 23-year-olds kind of suck.
They ain't worth it. Like, they ain't worth it. Okay? They ain't worth it. Take it from me. Just wait. Like I would say, just wait and until you know. Like, when you know, you will know. When you know it's time, then you're gonna start having a baby fevers. Then every time you see a little kid, you're like, I want me one.
But when you get a baby fever, girl, don't do it.
a trap. It's a trap. No, but really, like, just wait. Take your time in the dating world. Take your time with marriage. You know, it's just, a lot of people say, like, you know, get married young because it prevents you from committing zina, whatever. But it's like, just don't talk to them. Boys got cooties. Do you want cooties? I don't think so. Just don't talk to them. They gonna distract you.
Yeah, unless you're prepared for divorce. That sounds mad disrespectful.
And it's so hard to get out of one because they make it so hard. You know, it's not like you can just go to a shack and say like, "Hey, I want to leave this man." So
even though that's how it should be,
but they don't do that.
The culture did not.
You know,
that.
So it's so much harder to fight a divorce. And you know what? So for you to think, "Oh my God, I got married at 17 years old. Now I'm 25, trying to get out this marriage, and I can't." You see, it's a hassle. So just don't do it.
Yeah. What she said. You know, marriage is important. It is half your deen, and it does protect you from like zina, from other stuff, and I guess it doesn't help increase your iman. Even though I feel like if your iman was already low before the marriage, I don't really think it's gonna really help you as much. Like if you was already sinning before your marriage.
And especially if you get with somebody that's just like you know, because it's supposed to be, your man's supposed to be your better half, you know? So that's why it's supposed to increase
some of these niggas are y'all devils.
That's why it's supposed to increase your mind, because now, like, you come home, you know, you and your husband, you're praying together, you and your husband, you're fasting together, you and your husband, but they don't do that in these households. So,
no disrespect.
You know, them and the husband, they be partying together, them and they be smoking together, like, so it's kind of like...
They be turning up.
They be walking around looking at their wives just completely, publicly shaming their bodies and
they be like,
their hairs, and it's just...
Yeah.
It kind of makes you think, like, what's the purpose of being married, you know? Like, you're married, that's when you're supposed to, like, feel whole. You know, your husband is supposed to make you feel like this woman is the one that's going to carry me and my kids up to heaven, you know? And when you don't get that from a man, is he really the one for you? When he doesn't remind you of your, like, deen, when he doesn't tell you, like, hey, hijab gasho, when he doesn't tell you, hey, suraka, this could be, it's not for, like, when he doesn't say that to you, like, is he really the one for you? When he encourages you, when he tells you, like, oh, we look bad as F, we look good, you look this, you look... Run from him. Cause the deepest part of the nar, that's where he want to see you. And you should run away from him, honey. He ain't the one. If he don't tell you, like, babe, it's been 2 weeks and you haven't prayed. If he don't say those type of things to you, you need to have a talk with your man. You say, what's going on with your iman, honey? And this is a serious conversation. Like, this is for real. Like, it could hurt. Like, I can definitely see that it can hurt. But if you don't have conversations about the religion with your husband, you need to have a spiritual connection. Love is good, but love alone is not going to take you to heaven. You need to have a spiritual connection with your man, you know, especially once you're married. Even if when you get married young, you decided to get married young. So you have to grow up a little faster. So all that stuff you was doing when you was younger, it needs to stop, you know? And these men, because they marry these young women, they think it's okay for them to just act the way that they act because they're young. And it's like, that's not the truth. And you need to be truthful with your wife. Yeah, you're young, but you chose to be a married woman. And as a married woman, you need to act like one.
It really, like she's saying, it really be the lack of maturity, the lack of love, the lack of compassion. Like there's one, it's like one direction in which your husband or your wife don't bring you closer to your religion, where they don't, like, you know, where they're not there for you to, like, you know, guide you, right? And then there's another thing when they be doing too much, when they have no compassion. Like, it's really just a reminder. It's just a little push, just a little nudge, reading Quran together, waking each other up in the morning. But without that, and without the compassion, without the understanding for one another, it's a failure. Without the respect,
you cannot force it. Like,
it's a failure.
Down, you know? Like, you can't force it on them.
This
is a heavy conversation, but it's really the truth. It's like a lot of these kids, they rush into marriage and they say, like, you know, oh, this is a good, and the moms, like, this is, give her think she got married at 16 years old, give her think she got married at 17 years old.
Yeah.
Why is that a brag? Like, why is that something for you to install in these kids' heads that you need to get married at a young age because that makes you a woman? It doesn't.
And divorce shouldn't be the end goal. Like, if you go into a marriage and you're like, yeah, I could just get out of here. I can just get a divorce. Divorce
you even think that?
I mean, I'll be thinking that sometimes, but like, but divorce isn't a good thing. It's not.
No.
What is it? The Prophet's first wife, Khadijah, she had, I think, let me not lie, but she was divorced a couple times before she met the Prophet, Salam. And with her, it's like, yeah, we see it. Like, there isn't anything wrong with being divorced, but that shouldn't be a goal.
You should go into a marriage thinking like, it's okay, I can get divorced with him one day.
You should be in there. You should be like, we're gonna build each other up. We're gonna do this. We're gonna do that, and make it happen.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be with this person till the day I die, and even after that. But a lot of y'all be getting in here. Woo, we running for men. We running for weddings. We don't even care what the man's iman is looking like, what he's like to his parents, what he's like to children, to his siblings. Because some of these guys, you can already tell before you even marry them. You'll know him for less than 2 months, and you're like, yeah, this nigga treats kids terribly. And it's like one thing to hate on kids, because, but like some of these people be like, they be evil. They have no love in their hearts. They're not compassionate. They be telling you things, but the action doesn't match. And y'all still be getting married. And then y'all get divorced. And then y'all like, yeah, fuck that man. F that man. You feel me? And it's like, there was signs, you know? There was signs. But, I digress, you know?
Yeah, so more of the story is just be careful and don't rush into it. Make sure that you prioritize your deen. You know, it's really easy to just get sunk into society and what they portray as like a marriage, like, you know, and it's even scary to think about how lightly people take it, you know, and it's not light at all.
And at the end of the day, if you really want to get married, it'll happen. Like, you're gonna get married, you're gonna get it through things. It's gonna happen for you. Like, you just gotta have sabr, just have patience, trust in Allah. Do what you gotta do. Maybe hit up a dating app.
The men on there a little crazy.
Yeah, Tinder, Hinge, Salams, they all looking a little rough. But you know, it will come to you when it comes to you. Don't rush it. You don't have to get married straight out of high school. Please, Lord, I don't even think y'all are mature enough for that. Even folks be like, oh, she's super mature. You're 25 and she's 17. I don't give a fuck how mature she is. Anyways, next question. Why do we feel women should higher their standards? Oh, great.
Women should hire, like, let me tell you about something about women. Let me tell you about something about women, okay? The same ones that carry an entire baby in their stomachs for 9 months. That's all you need to say for you women to raise your standards. You carry a human being in your stomach for 9 months, and you asking yourself, should I higher my standards? You are the standard, my love.
And the standards y'all be having right now, they be in hell. Like, they
be
like
over here. Let's pull it back up because you are the standard.
I mean, at least he praised Isha. What? What?
Like, you are the standard, and a lot of females, like, it's really just a lack of self-love, honestly. Like, and when you love, like, we love hard, you know, and sometimes we end up in situations where we like love this man so much that we feel kind of stuck, you know. But I just want to let you know, he's not the one carrying the baby. You are. No. Baby, you are the standard. Like, you are a queen, you know. You are an entire goddess. Like, you know, any man that's walking down your even way should look at you twice.
That's a little bit.
Cause that's how much
lower your gaze.
That's how much confidence you're carrying, you know. So I definitely feel like women should higher their standards. It's not high enough. I want to see those standards off through the roofs.
Like, if there's something that you know makes you happy, you better be like, yeah, if that man doesn't do this or that, I don't want him. And don't
put him through
stick
a test
to them.
trial. Put him through a test trial. Men don't like that. Put him through a test trial. Ask him.
And men be testing y'all all the time too.
So test his ass back. Ask him, hey, can you like even something so simple? Say the new iPhone 13 just came out. Can you give me one in white? Let's see if he delivers. Let's see if he delivers. Test him.
1,200 gigabytes too.
Test him. Put him through test trials, okay? Straight up, like, you know, because he gonna get himself one. He might as well get you one too if he really love you. Because you about to carry his whole child.
For me personally, I feel like when I'm talking on the phone with somebody and they don't stop to be like, I gotta go pray, I'll call you back, I'm gonna be like, oh.
You know what I hate? Like, when you talking to a guy and you be like, oh my god, I'm so hungry, and you be like, well, you should go make something. If you don't offer me something to eat, if you do not say or what you want me to get you or what do you want to eat, you have failed to text, my love. You don't care about me. I'm hungry and you want me to cook. I'm hungry. Give me something, baby. Now, but all jokes aside, like, women should definitely raise their standards. You guys are queens, babies. Like, I'm so, like, it's let these men fight over y'all. Like, I'm so tired of women fighting over men over and over again. I'm trying to see men fight over women. Because y'all the prize, really.
I be seeing that sometimes. That's crazy, though.
Really?
But, yeah.
I need to see that. I need to see that. Because ultimately, you guys are the prize. And let's see that. Let's raise our standards.
Because lately, the standards be like, I be on, like, TikTok and the internet, and girls will be like, oh, he texted me good morning.
Beautiful eyes.
Oh, thanks.
Raise your standards. Beautiful eyes. You are
dudes be like, good morning. She be like, oh my gosh, she said good morning. What?
I ain't gonna lie. When I get that good morning text, I be feeling like, oh, I'm thinking about me this morning.
I'm sick. He be like, good morning. Like,
he's the one.
Girls will be sick, and he'll offer them medicine. Be like, do you want me to pick you up anything? And they be like, oh my gosh, he's perfect. What? What?
I'd be surprised if he didn't.
Like, what is this? Niggas will call you pretty, and you guys like, oh my gosh, you called me pretty. Niggas at the gas station will call you pretty. If you really want somebody to call you attractive, walk down the street.
On your worst day too,
what?
you looking like a crackhead, and they be like, "Oh, you so fine."
Them crackheads
like,
do
really?
be. I be like, really? Say that again. But then I gotta do a little run because I don't really.
That was scary.
But yeah, like these standards be bare minimum. Oh, he cooks for me when I can't do it myself. I hope so. Aren't y'all both hungry? Like, oh my gosh, y'all. Lord help us.
What's the fact?
Lord help us. Should a man with money be able to step out if he's providing everything? I think
The fact that y'all
depends on
asked,
what you.
the fact that these were topics for me, y'all, it's just like, baby, who hurt you? Like, who made you feel like this? Like,
I don't care how much money the nigga stepping out. What type of? I'm never gonna disrespect whoever asked that question, but I hope you know the answer yourself. Because that's crazy. I feel like it takes two to tango, and if you're in a marriage or if you guys have kids, you can't just step out. Like, those are that's a whole other human being that wasn't even asked to be here. Yeah. Like, y'all kind of just brought him in here, and you're telling me you're leaving, and you're like, oh well, he got money. What does that mean? People need their parents' love.
Yeah.
Like, money doesn't mean shit for nobody's kids. Like, your kid's sitting here like, damn, I don't even got a dad. And your mom's like, well, at least we got lights. Bitch, I don't give a fuck no lights. That's bare minimum. Like I said before.
I'm dead.
Nigga paying the light bill and y'all happy about that. That's bare minimum.
I agree. Should a man with money be able to step out if he's providing everything? Let me just say this. I'm gonna read you guys something, a hadith, right? The Prophet of Allah, Salam, stated, a man is the guardian of his family, and every guardian has responsibilities towards those under his guardianship. Okay, it is his responsibility to take care of you. It's a responsibility that Allah gave him. So no, he cannot step out because he is doing a responsibility that was given to him. You know, so if I had not said, like, you know, for a man it's your responsibility to take care of your family, this is just something that he was doing on his own. This is something that, you know, but this is something that he took you on as his wife to say, I'm gonna take care of her. Nobody told him to do that. He did that. He took you, and now he is the guardian of you. So he's supposed to take care of you. So why in the hell would I give him a free pass to go sleep around? Because he's taking care of you as he should.
Religiously speaking, it doesn't make sense. Because religiously speaking, as a man,
you can't even sleep around.
Even if you got 2 wives, 3 wives, 4 wives, at the end of the day, you gotta treat them all equally. Yeah. Take care of all them kids. Be a guardian for everybody. Pay everybody's bills. Love them all the same. Ain't that crazy how you gotta, you know, spread your love out of all those people, and then y'all wanna have like 3rd, 4th wives? Y'all don't even got the love of, y'all don't got the love of the compassion or the respect for all that. And you're talking about you want to step out of your family? Even if we're not talking about the religion, morally, what is wrong with you?
Keep your penis in your pants.
What a sick world we live in. Anyways.
Ibrahim Amini said, a man who is supporting his family should know that a woman is also a human being, just like a man. She also has the desires and the rights of freedom and life. So just because you are taking care of a woman, just because, like, and you as a woman, just because he's taking care of you, that does not mean that you give up your freedom, that you give up your life, that you give up everything. You just let this man walk all over you. Just let this man, like, make all these rules for you. Just let this man do whatever he wants. That's his responsibility. And just because he's doing that does not mean that you're no longer a human. You are still a human, and you can do whatever the hell that you want to do, despite him doing his job as a man and taking care of you, you know. So no, just because you got yourself a little bit of change does not mean that you can sleep on your wife. That's disgusting. So let's stop doing
that. We hate y'all. I mean,
no, we don't.
y'all, I think it's time to start reading some du'as.
You gonna read some du'as?
Yes.
Halima's gonna take us off with some du'as.
One du'a, one of my favorite ones. I'm telling y'all, it's a dua from the Prophet Musa, Salam, that basically says, Rabbi inni lima anzalta ilayya min khayrin fakir, which means, my Lord, I am truly in desperate need of whatever good you may have in store for me. I be feeling that one because it be hard out here, for real. And from what I'm reading, y'all are going through it.
Like, and most of these were written by women. You know, like, it's like, dang, like how bad can it get to the point where you're asking us, like, can a man do this? And it's like, no, he cannot. And you know that's the answer. No, he cannot.
No, he can't. So, and even if that thought was even going through your head, just go online. Cause no.
May Allah guide us all.
I mean, and then another one I got, it's a dua for ease. And it's Allahumma la sahla illa ma ja'altahu sahla wa anta taj'alu hazna idha. Sorry, I'm kind of sick. That was sick. Sorry, y'all. I got a tickle on my throat. Taj'alu hazna idha shi'ta sahlan.
Can you read it again?
Yeah, because I was. Allahumma la sahla illa ma ja'altahu سهلا وأنت تجعل الحزن إذا شئت سهلا. Oh Allah, there is no ease except that which you have made easy, and you make the difficulty if you wish easy. Wow. Please don't make fun of my translation.
Arabic is not our first language.
Arabic is not my first language. That was like my first time reading that. But anyway, the dua says, Oh Allah, there is no ease except what you make easy, and even the difficulty, you make it easy. And as long as you always recognize that whatever you're going through right now, it's something you can handle, you'll be good. You know, don't even worry too much. Don't even put too much stress on yourself. Leave it to your Lord. For real. Yeah. Don't let these men stress you out. Don't let these women stress you out. Don't let nobody stress you out. Not even them kids. I don't care how hungry they are. I'm kidding. Feed your kids. Don't listen to her. Feed your kids. But like, yeah, don't let anything stress you out. Like, this life, it should, like, even with all the difficulties and the calamities, it's made easy. You know, you got this, you got everything that you're handling. Don't ever let anything put you down.
Yes.
You are up here, sis. You're up here.
Yes.
And no man can ever put you down there.
Mm-mm.
Please.
Not if you can give life to somebody like that. Okay?
Exactly.
So,
Woo! Love yourselves.
Yes. So thank you guys for tuning in. This was, I think, a very good episode.
Mm-hmm.
I really enjoyed this episode.
Now it's going in.
And I just want you guys to know, like, if we say something, like, don't take it as an offense, you know, like, okay, like anything that we say, it's solely based off what we see and what we have observed in our community. That's why it's called Let's Talk Bantus. Let's have these conversations. Let's not shy away from them. Let's rip the bandage off, because it might hurt. But we need to talk about it. We need to shed light on what the hell is going on within our community. Why is everything so backwards? Why are we, you know, feeding in to what we always, when we seen other people doing this, like when we seen Somali people, no offense, when we seen Arab people, when we seen like all these people doing that, we always just say like, oh my God, like, you know, we used to like look at them like they was crazy. Now we're becoming that, you know? So we need to have these conversations, you know, let's talk about it, you know, let's see what's going on. Where do we need to adjust? What do we need to do? Because we are the new adults, you know, like we're the ones who's going to be raising these kids. Like, our parents, our older siblings, all them stuff, like they done for. We are the new generation. We are taking the leaderships. We are taking control. So we need to take initiative and not shy away from nothing. So I hope you guys learned from this. And as always, we will put all our sources link in the bio. Okay, we're gonna put Yona's information in the bio so you guys can reach out to him.